First thing I want to mention is you got quite a bit of publicity last November in the Santa Barbara Independent. Tell me about that.
Great question, Frank. This past November, I was nominated as a local hero. I always tell people I'm just a person that cares, but it was truly a great piece of recognition, of notoriety to be seen. For the folks who don't know my work, first thing you know, my name is Michael Montenegro. You could just Google me, but I'm really known as a historian, as a public art advocate, advocating for the Latino and immigrant and working class folks. So I'm also a public transportation advocate. I do not own an automobile, only a bicycle. I love clean, safe neighborhoods. I was truly honored to have that recognition, get those awards from our local politicians. And it just feels good to be seen, Frank.
Yeah. Michael, you and I have known each other for a number of years, 5, 6, 7, something like that.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, bicycles is where we met.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started attending your annual mural rides.
That's right.
I've been on at least 2 back in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me, what was the background? How did you focus on murals, Michael?
That's a great question, Frank. It started when I was like a volunteer, for BC Central /SB Bike, now known as PATH. And I learned about this mural bike ride in Boyle Heights, a neighborhood of East LA. I was really flabbergasted because I saw all these murals that I've seen in textbooks and in other books of Chicano art. And it was really, it was inspiring. And I had this feeling of, if this can be done in East Los Angeles, Boyle Heights, I can do the very same thing in my own community in Santa Barbara. So that's when I made the pitch to Ed, who was the executive director at that time. He encouraged me. I did it. Well attended. I have videos from that first day, the inaugural one.
You've been doing it how long now?
This year, 2025, is going to be the 10th annual.
We're all got to come out for that. And when do you have it? Is it the same time every year?
Yes, it is. So this year is going to be, it's always the first Saturday of November. I believe it's November 2nd at 1 p.m. Just note that it's going to be the first Saturday in November when Day of the Dead is in season.
Okay. Do you have to be a real hotshot bike rider to join in?
Oh, no.
Of course not.
It's family friendly. It's free. All cycling stages are welcome, whether e-bike, the tri-shawl, all cyclists are welcome.
Right. For all ages and abilities, pretty much.
That's a fact.
Yeah. Now, Michael, I read the Independent article, and it goes on and on about cultural issues.
Yes.
In Santa Barbara, Hispanic, indigenous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
One of the things that intrigued me was the, Old Spanish days. There was a reference to that in indigenous people. Is that it?
Yes. No, I'm glad that you brought that up, Frank.
I was curious. That really piqued my interest.
No, I'm glad that you mentioned that. So I organized this event 2 weeks prior of Old Spanish Days. For the folks who don't know, Old Spanish Days, also known as Fiestas, is during the first week of August. It's just a celebration of local heritage. I'll keep that simple definition there. But the event that I organized was called 3 Perspectives on Old Spanish Days. So I had Eric Hugh Davis, who was a former presidente of Old Spanish Days. I had my friend Spencer Jaimes, who's of the actual Chumash tribe of this land, and he still practices tradition. He's a cultural practitioner and a very accomplished filmmaker as well. Great great young man. And then myself, I'm the Chicano, the Hispanic perspective. And it was a successful event. We had over 70 attendees. We started from the historical museum, walked over to the Presidio, and then from the Presidio we went to the courthouse, and each location had a different speaker, and it was great. There will be another event coming up. Get a deeper, diverse understanding of what this local tradition means to us. Yeah, so yeah, I got recognized for that, and it was a huge milestone accomplishment, Frank.
Now, we're meeting today. It's a Monday, early in the new year at almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon because you get off work at 3:30.
Yes.
Yeah. What kind of work are you doing these days, Michael?
That's a good question, Frank. I have a corporate job. I'm in customer care. I'm really thankful to have a really good job, great company culture. I was struggling from working in a nonprofit and inconsistent paychecks, but now I've been working at this job for 4 years. I have flexibility, PTO, benefits, and
people who work in nonprofits, they all suffer from lack of financial stability, don't they?
yeah,
It's terrible, and especially the rent's so high.
yeah.
Jeez.
Oh yeah, it's one that's one of the struggles of living in Santa Barbara, the cost of living. I have 2 jobs, and then for the record, for the folks out there, when it comes to my cultural work, my history work, my advocacy work, no one pays me. I'm just a person that cares, and I like to give when I can and help when I can, and I'm just a person that
And you
cares.
surround yourself by like-minded people.
Yeah.
That's got to be satisfying.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the lessons I've learned, where hang out with people whose eyes light up, who are authentic or are happy to work with you.
Michael, you mentioned to me you've got an event coming up in February.
Yes, I do.
That?
So on February 12th, which is a Wednesday, I'll be collaborating with the Museum of Contemporary Art, a meet and greet with the great Daniel Hernandez. He is the current food editor for LA Times. He used to work for Vice, the news outlet.
Oh. So the Museum of Contemporary Art, whereabouts is that?
That is located at the Paseo Nuevo.
Upstairs.
Yes, second floor, from 5 to 7, February 12th. This will be happening during the week of the film festival as well.
Great.
So there's going to be plenty of activities. You could maybe watch a film and then squeeze in my free event, free to the public. There will be snacks by Rascals Vegan Food and some free drinks as well, some beverages. So I hope to see everyone there.
All right, Michael. Thanks so much for joining me today, Michael. It's nice to see you. It's nice to catch up with you on all the great things that you're doing.